So my current job is news director for CBS4 in Denver, which is the CBS-owned television station. And in my job of news director, I play a few different roles. One role is editorial, where I help determine the stories we're going to cover, what stories to dedicate a reporter to, what stories to dedicate a photographer to, what order they run inside of our newscasts. I help develop our special projects like investigative and consumer stories. Another part of what I do is more administrative. It's personnel, hiring, firing, disciplining, working with our unions on their contracts or contract issues. And then a third part of what I do is sort of marketing. What is the brand for our TV station? What's the brand for our news product? How are we going to live up to that every day? How are we going to distinguish what we do in our newscast from what the other television stations do in their newscasts? Well, the editorial part of what I do is by far my favorite. That's determining what news stories to cover every day, how to cover them, what we need to learn to help the public and our viewers learn something about those stories. That's the part that probably is the most thrilling. That's the part that allows me to learn something new every day. It makes coming to work fresh every day. I think following a passion is certainly the most critical part of it. I've always loved the news. I've always loved following the news and reporting the news, even as a kid for a high school newspaper. At the University of Colorado, I worked for the student radio station for 3 years, and it was an amazing experience for me. That's probably where I found my love of broadcasting. I'd always thought I wanted to be in newspapers. But in college at CU, I did the radio station, worked for the radio station, and just loved broadcast, found that I loved broadcasting. And after that, I began an internship here at Channel 4 in my final year at CU, and really found that I loved television, because I thought, after working at the radio station, I thought radio was where I was going to go. Then I came here and realized I loved TV, and then that sent me off on my career path. What I know now is how critical connections are, and connections through the professional connections, people who I met at my internships or known through the radio station, but also connections through the university, and using those connections to help grow my career.